Hello, welcome to a demonstration on how to work with multiple worksheets in Excel. I was once involved in an activity of consolidating reports from a corporate office where all other subsidiary companies would actually submit information to the corporate office. Now, this is actually a typical example. I have this particular data set here that is actually divided into month and a quarter. A quarter then would be the summary. So in other words, you're trying to summarize information for the first quarter for the month of January, February, and March. So that's actually our data sample here. And you can see here that the data in these individual months will actually be entered, right? Then it's actually submitted to the corporate office. And all you have to do is you want to find the quickest way and the most efficient way of summarizing the data. And in some cases, you can actually have multiple companies and you can also consolidate them in one particular workbook. Right. So what is the easiest way of actually doing that? As you can see, the quarter does not have any numbers. So we actually begin by working on the 3 months, first of all, because we can see that the 3 months do not have calculations included. In this case, the difference between the actual and the forecast, and then the percentage change, right? And of course, we need to know what the total revenue would be for each particular month. So instead of doing 1 month at a time, now this is where working with multiple worksheets come in handy. What you do is you select the first month and then you hold the shift key button down so that you can select all the 3 months. So you click on the third month like that. As you can see, they are all highlighted, which means they are now selected. So everything you're actually doing here is going to be done for every month. And you will see that it shows up here that North America is now saying group, right? It means they've all been selected. Okay, just as a matter of illustration, I can deselect them by clicking on quarter, right? You can see up there the group is not showing, right? Until you click on January, hold the shift key button down, click on March. Now the group is actually showing, which means they are all selected, they've all been grouped together. Now it's time for us to do some calculations. We can enter the equal sign here. We just want to find the difference between the actual and the forecast. Once we've done that, we can just use the fill handle to copy the same formula downwards. Okay, and then we do the same with the percentage change. So we're expressing the difference as a percentage of the forecast, right? Because remember that our formula was to subtract forecast from actual, right? So then of course we do our formatting to make sure the percentage looks right. And then of course we can use the fill handle as well, copy downwards. Now we can go ahead and add up. We can do the auto sum. Then we can go ahead and do some formatting here so that these numbers will actually look right. We want them to have a comma separator, and we do not want any decimal places. Okay, and we can do an additional formatting here, make sure that there is a bottom border, and maybe we also need to have a percentage calculation right there. Okay, all right, so of course here we can see that to 1 decimal place percentage, probably here it's saying that it's not able to. There we go. It's a very small percentage. So by increasing the decimals, then we're actually able to see that it's actually 0.03% difference. Okay, so once we've done this, you can do any formatting that you want. You can do all the formulas. If we click now to deselect the grouped worksheets, click on quarter one, and if you go back now to January, we can see that January, February, and March, they've all been calculated and formatted accordingly. So we're actually able to collectively do the formatting of the 3 worksheets at the same time. Now that we are done with that, of course, the next thing we have to do is to make sure that we can summarize the results that we just calculated in these 3 months, right? So that we can see the quarterly results. Now, how do we do that? Again, there's a much smarter way of working with multiple worksheets we can actually use. So we come here, right? So we want to add up all values that are in these 3 months. So here we can enter, so we want to add, so equal sum. So we're going to use the sum. Once we've done that, we click on January, okay? And then we hold the shift key button down and click on March. And then we have to select the first cell like that. And you can see up here, it's actually showing you that it's now going to add up January to March, B1, cell B1 for all the 3 months, right? Then closing parenthesis, we press enter, right? You can see here it is actually added B5 for January, February, and March. Now we have just to create the formula once, and then we can just go ahead and copy, use the fill handle to copy to the right, and use the fill handle to copy it downwards. All right, and then of course we always want to make sure that the formatting, we do not lose the formatting, the bottom border. And now here, unfortunately here, percentages, we have to recalculate that, right? It does make sense for us to do that. Equal sign. So the difference divided by the forecast. And then we get our percentage there. Okay, and we want to make sure that we make it maybe to 1 decimal place. And then we can go ahead and copy this downwards. And of course, it's entirely up to us if we wanted to make sure that we reinstall the bottom border so that the formatting looks right. And then of course, we can actually go ahead and do the final formatting to make sure that there's a comma separator and there is no decimal places. Right, now before you know it, we have actually completed adding up all the values for the 3 months in our quarter summary right there. And you can actually double check on that, and you can see how quick it was to work with multiple worksheets so that you can efficiently create a file using some formulas that are much more dynamic. Instead of you having to do one month at a time, you're actually able to do multiple months at the same time for formatting, for creating formulas, and also again summarizing all the 3 months. I hope you find this approach to working with multiple worksheets very helpful. It can really increase your productivity when you're actually working with Excel, and especially when you're consolidating reports. But the key is to make sure that all the reports that will be coming in will be having exactly the same format. So as a general rule, if you're working in the corporate office, what you do then is you prepare the template that you submit to the subsidiary companies, so that when they're submitting information, you tell them that you submit the information using the template I gave you. Then that way there's some consistency, and then everything else will work perfectly. Otherwise, that's all I have for you. I hope you find this very helpful. Again, if you like the video, share the video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.